what it says. What's up, everybody?
What's going on?
Holy shit, we're here for the May 2024 Movie Dumpster wrap-up. It's been a minute, and we're so glad to be back with y'all.
Yes, the chat's already going
popping.
wild. It's good to see you folks in there just chit-chatting, keeping the dream alive while we set up on our end.
Look at you. We love you guys so much, and we love that you guys love hanging out together with each other. Side note, by the way, sorry we're late. We were recording an episode, and we actually recorded half the episode.
Oh, yeah.
And then we were like, shit, we got to stop because we got to do a live show. So as soon as we're done with this, we're going to go back to recording. But we're going to talk about that in a little bit. So we apologize for the delay, but here we are.
And we're going to just start going down the list. Let us know in the chat that we're actually live.
Yeah.
I think we are.
We're
but
pretty sure.
I see Johnny Brown saying, holy crap, we are alive.
Yes.
It's
alive!
Yeah. So welcome, folks. Let's go down the list, Joe.
All right, we got to go all the way to the top here. Low Wang DC.
I'll double check my app in the meantime.
There you go.
while
Low
you
Wang
go,
DC, what's cooking, dude? Dane Belcher, what's up? Welcome. Johnny Browning, how are you? Ty Saban, what's up, man? Sean Laughlin, what's going on? Wilbert! Exclamation point. Wilbert.
Definitely hasn't heard that one.
Probably not, right? Brian Malik, what's cooking? What's up, Bill? We got Daniel Faw. What else we got in here?
Looks like the stream is going okay on the old
good.
cell phone.
We got Johnny Disaster in there. What's up, brother?
Ty Saban, how you doing?
Gil DaCosta's in here. What's going on?
Also, side note, Gil, we got your voicemail. We haven't recorded the hotline. Is it actually Jill? Have we been saying it wrong the whole time? Let us know.
Yeah.
If we've been screwing it up, but we love you, man.
Yeah. Nate is in here. What's up, dude? Anybody else? Did I miss anybody?
There's a few folks that were at the top there that maybe not have commented since the show started.
Yeah.
There's that slight delay. It's going down the list for the audio listeners.
Yeah, just going down. Give me
yeah.
1 second. I want to say hello to everybody.
Some user, welcome.
Yeah, some user, what's cooking? Trident the Fan, what's going on? Adam Kirkendall, how you doing?
Sarge Fan 19, don't know if you said that, but welcome.
Cinema Psychos is here. What's up, Brian?
Puka Luka.
Puka Luka? Where do you see that?
Yeah, I guess Wilbur is
there you
reacting
go.
to the Wilbur joke, I hope.
Oh, there you go.
Mr. Ed. Deep cuts on Movie Dumpster. Or Stepfather. He does talk about it in that film.
Oh, yeah.
And a peanut butter in the mouth.
He was licking it off his balls is what happened.
Well,
Stepfather.
Tim Nugent in the chat from Tapes from the Crypt.
There he is. I see him
dropping
there.
some deep lore for the chat members.
He hasn't bathed for a few days. Until the recording day, so he's going to see us Friday. We're going to get to that in a second.
Yeah. The spoilers, if you saw the last live show back, I think it was the March wrap-up?
I think it was March.
That might have been the last one we did. We did it in the beginning of April.
Yeah.
We've been busy.
Tim's going to come and eat my fucking corsage this Friday. That's what he's going to do.
Okay. Chango TV, welcome. And like they say in the chat, what's up, dumpster dwellers indeed?
It's Chango? I think I've been calling it Chango.
Oh, I don't know. I just say what I read, Joe. Doesn't mean I'm right or you're right. It could go until we get the confirmation from the chat. We'll never know.
Well, I'm sure they will at some point.
I think it might be Chango.
And Brian
Chang Zero maybe.
Brian Cryer says, "Hey guys, what is going on?" And Ryan Underwood, not to be confused with Ron Underwood, the creator of the Tremors series.
I think they might have been joking about that earlier in the chat.
Will Tony show up with no shirt on to get us up? No, Tony will not be appearing in this program.
Oh, no.
Sir, not appearing in this film.
Definitely not without his shirt off either. Elstree, what's up?
What is going on? Okay, I think we're all caught up. Dan B, what's going on?
As always, if we missed you, it's not intentional. We love you.
Oh, and
welcome.
Mr. Boone. Did we say Mr. Boone? He's in there too.
I thought it was Ed for a second. I was like, what's
Ed
going
Boone,
on with Mortal Kombat?
yeah.
What's happened to this fucking game?
Mr.
Wrong Boone, though.
Mr. Noob Cybot, yeah.
What's going on with this character? That's not. Where's Melina? I almost said Melania. Where's Melina? Remember that? She's in the game now, so I don't know who people are bitching about now.
Melania's in the game?
Well, that was what I almost said. She's not. Anyway, I don't want to get political here.
No,
Melania's not in the game.
Fuck
no,
that. No, we don't need
Melina
that.
is finally. Thank God. Ed Boone could finally rest.
Wicked Tuna, Godless Mac, Toilet Clogger.
Toilet Clogger, welcome back.
He's been clogging toilets since 1945. God damn.
Video Vila, welcome. I wore your shirt in a video coming soon.
It's coming soon. What's up, Logan? How you doing, man?
Thank you again.
Yeah, I think we're all caught up. So what's going on, Sean? How the hell have you been?
Crazy couple of months, Joe. Just, man, I'm trying to think what the hell has even been going on. Damn, since we last met with the dumpster dwellers. I mean, we've obviously put out some episodes, interacting in the live chats of those, but outside of that, just watching a lot of movies, beat some video games, you know, the usual.
There you go.
Yeah, actually going to the movies a lot more than I did last year, so that's a positive. I think I've actually seen more movies in the theater this year than I did all of last year so far. So.
I think that's what we were talking about last show too. Was like I'm so excited because there were so many movies to see.
And we couldn't think of anything, but then I'm like going down my list and I'm like, shit, there's actually a lot.
Yeah, well, we're gonna talk about some in a few, but
how about yourself? I guess
I've been actually doing really well. Yeah, I don't know if I really talked about it. I guess we can get a little personal here. I don't know if we really talked about it, but
we didn't talk about it. But D83 just joined the chat.
What's up, D83? How you doing, man?
But seriously, go ahead.
No, like you know, we all struggle with a little bit of mental illness and stuff, and I just like being transparent with you guys, and this is kind of like the space where we do that with each other. So I started taking I even forgot the name of the fucking drug that I'm on.
Oh, okay. Not marijuana.
I always forget. Well, a little bit of that too, but it's like an anti-anxiety medicine. And I've been feeling really good. And trying to get out of my own head a little bit. And I've been feeling great. So that's a good plus for me on my personal side.
That's fantastic news.
Yeah. So I'm doing a lot better. And things have been better because of that behind the scenes. So I'm all good with that. But yeah, man, just trying to catch up on some movies. I've been like you said before, like going to the movies more. I'm trying to go to see everything that I want to see in the theater.
Try is the key word, right?
Yeah. So you know, what the fuck was I gonna say?
I don't know. I was gonna say though, just while you think about
starting. I was gonna say starting. I don't know if I talked about it last time.
Yeah,
starting with infested, not infested.
I think we were talking about how you were going to see the Spider movie.
The Spider movies. That was the last thing I was talking about.
That and Nunsploitation. Yeah, the first one had just come out. We hadn't either seen it at that point, but you had seen the Sydney Sweeney one, Immaculate. That was kind of where we left the chat.
That's where we left the chat.
A couple months back.
Yeah. Immaculate was really good, but yeah, it was. Damn, what
there was a bunch. Long Legs, Sting.
Sting was it. Long Legs is not a Spider movie.
I think you said that.
Didn't come
the
out
name
yet.
is throws you off.
Sting was.
Oh yeah,
the movie.
Long Legs looks cool. Actually, I just remember the trailer.
Yeah, and we talked briefly about that last time. I don't want to rehash that, but Sting was really good, and that was like one of the first ones I saw in the theater this year, which was great. And I watched Infested on Shudder, I think was on. If you guys want to watch it, it's on Shudder now.
Infested is the one with the spiders crawling over the head, the poster.
It's the French one. It's awesome.
Okay.
Like my endorsement for it is like Attack the Block meets Arachnophobia on the set of Wreck or Quarantine. Rather, it's really fucking good. It was really great. And then as far as like, I don't know, I guess we could talk a little bit about that. Sorry, my mind's like firing at like 1,000. I'm on 1,000 cylinders.
That's not a bad thing.
I guess we could talk about like what we've just been seeing in theaters and stuff. Like
I got a few I could list.
Yeah. What did I see first? Okay, yeah, Furiosa we saw.
Do you want to just go with the big gun?
You want to just whip it out?
I want to preface this real quickly. We were talking about maybe doing an episode. I don't know if that's going to happen still, but we're going to talk about it right now a little bit. I think just before we talk about Furiosa, the more I've been thinking about this, I kind of came to a revelation, Joe, that might blow your mind a little bit. I think a film has actually replaced Ghostbusters as my favorite movie.
Oh, no.
Because I was really thinking about this the last like week or two since I saw Furiosa. I think Mad Max Fury Road might actually be my favorite movie of all time.
Really?
I think it might be.
It's fucking excellent.
It's so fucking like when I rewatched it to go see Fury. Like I used to like when it first came out. I think I watched it 2 or 3 times a year. I liked it so much.
Yeah.
And then I just like fell off because I got this idea in my head. I don't think this is a crazy idea, but I might have talked about it on previous live shows. Not to steal your thunder. Sorry, go off on this tangent.
For what?
I was trying to watch a lot of horror movies, almost exclusively horror movies for a while because I was trying to like build my catch up and build a little bit more of appreciation for the genre that we both love and talk about a lot on this show, and just the knowledge in general. And then I kind of just like in the last like 6 months, kind of like I still love horror movies, but I'm trying to just say fuck it. I just love movies. I'm pigeonholing myself too much. I'm just watching everything again. I'm watching everything. I'm not trying to just always watch a horror movie. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but that was my mindset for a couple of years.
Yeah,
really focusing on horror. And now that I've like re-diversified mentally, I'm rewatching some of these movies that I loved for years and just hadn't revisited, and I'm like, Fury Road, there's just something about that fucking movie that just, it checks off so many boxes: cinematography, music, acting, the editing, just the story. It's just like, I could think of everything I want in a movie is in that movie.
It was so incredible, man. I mean, it still is incredible.
Yes.
I didn't get a chance to rewatch it,
it
before we went to go see it, Furiosa.
Yeah, right. On to Furiosa,
but
yes.
Afterwards, I was like, fuck, I want to go home and watch Fury Road right now.
And one of the best things you could say about Furiosa is that it's an incredible prequel, because it works. You could watch Fury Road first, or you could watch Furiosa first, and there's different things about both of those movies that inform each other. Like, Furiosa did a great job of like expanding the fucking Mad Max universe even more, especially that segment of Mad Max. Like, you learn way more about him. I don't want to just spoil the movie, but you learn way more about Immortan Joe.
Yeah.
Obviously, Furiosa's backstory, which was hinted at in I would say the first one, in Fury Road, like about her mother and little details that they actually deliver on in this.
And Hemsworth as the Mentor was fucking awesome.
I love Hemsworth already, but wow, this was a role I never expected him in.
He was so good. It was so nice to see him play a villain. It was really good. But to your point, I mean, the Mad Max universe is like the Lord of the Rings universe for me. Like, I could live, like, fine.
I could live in either.
I can live there.
Probably be safer in Lord of the Rings.
But I'm saying, like, make another movie. I don't give a fuck.
Oh,
it's cool.
Hunt for Gollum, Joe. It's coming.
Maybe not Hunt for Gollum. I don't need this. That story's already told.
But yes, in the Mad Max universe.
I liked how it was kind of unapologetically itself.
Yes.
And Miller did what he wanted.
Well, that's, I guess, with all that said about Fury Road, that's why Furiosa, I think, is such an achievement.
It's so good, especially because, like, it doesn't really rely on Fury Road.
Fury Road enhances it, but no, you're right, it doesn't rely on it.
No, right. It's enhanced by it, but I don't think you don't need it.
You could totally just
watch Furiosa and be like, okay, that was cool.
I do think you're not going to appreciate it as much, but I'll color me wrong if that's not the case.
Also, like, I can't wait for like the super 4-hour cut of Furiosa and Fury Road into one big movie.
I don't like that shit when they did that with Godfather. It's an interesting experiment.
It's an experiment.
My father-in-law always like watches that version of it, and I'm like, yeah, but like you're missing so much context. Like, I don't know. I'm always big on editing and cinematography. Not that. Watching that version of Godfather when they put it chronologically, I'm talking about.
No, fuck that. That is
a little different
thing.
But
I just meant like cut the end off of this one and cut the beginning off
like
this one and
Kill
stick
Bill,
it together.
what it could have been.
It's like Evil
Dead 1 and 2.
When we did the live stream of Evil Dead 1 and 2, where I seamlessly cut them together.
Sure.
That's what I mean, because you could literally do that with Furiosa and Fury Road.
No, you're right. I guess what I'm talking about Godfather 1 and 2 is different. I just don't like how it's like, well, you lose entire context of why De Niro as Corleone is important, because it's like the scenes connect, and now it's just. It's a way to watch it, I guess.
That's a bad idea. That was a bad idea.
What you're saying is like a fun afternoon with some drinks.
Yeah.
With some friends, or just by yourself, because the movies are so fucking good.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a day one 4K purchase. I still don't think it's as good as Fury Road, but it's like you're comparing it to one of the best movies ever made as far as I'm concerned. So, and it's still really damn close. So what does that say?
It was just a good time. It was such a great time at the movies. And again, I love living in that universe, and I love the post-apocalyptic shit.
Wow, yeah.
I mean, it's just so rad, and it's cool that we got another Miller piece. Maybe it might not be a sequel to Fury Road in terms of like another Mad Max movie, but it's in the Mad Max saga, and that's okay with me. I thought it was great.
And he does have a cameo.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with that.
That was perfect.
I was kind of like, oh, that makes sense, because he would be there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, on the fucking road to Gastown. But
and I guess
spoilers, by the way.
Well, yeah. I mean, Miller has talked about he has another idea where he because each one of these films is supposed to be a random story that involves Max. They're not supposed to be watched in a particular order outside of maybe the first two.
Yeah.
Well, at least the first one, I guess.
Well, yeah. Well, it comes into its own.
Sure.
Yeah. Because they're like diary entries of the wastelands, more or less.
He's talked about it a lot if you look it up yourself. But exactly, Joe. But he's talked about doing another film that would be what happened before he got the Furiosa. I'd be more interested in what happened after, but Miller can make it work no matter what, so I'm not even worried about it if it happens.
I think they maybe that's like a thing where like he doesn't want to make a sequel to Fury Road, so he can like leave Fury Road as like the last masterpiece and just kind of throw in some other stories before it. You know what I mean? Because it's like, well, where do you go from Fury Road?
I mean, it could be totally different, like Thunderdome, where it's a totally detached thing from Road Warrior. I think is the idea. But hey, I'm always here for more George Miller. I keep seeing people online saying, well, it's not enough people are seeing it, so George Miller's next movie ain't gonna happen. It's like, Well, with the studios, I guess maybe, but I feel like people are reading a little too deeply into this. Fury Road was one of the most celebrated films in the last decade. I don't know. Maybe just there's some people don't want to go out and see the sequel for whatever reason that's escaping me. Maybe times have changed.
I heard it wasn't doing great either, but like.
It's a sequel to one of the best movies ever. What are you folks doing? Not the people here.
No. Yeah. Like, I don't know. The theater was full for us, so yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not the marketing guy. I'm not the cigar chomping executive like we like to joke about. But Furiosa, top fucking notch stuff, action movie.
I think it hasn't been getting enough press. But Chris
even
Hemsworth,
the art direction, man.
Yeah, but Chris. Well, I mean, it's always top notch. Yeah. But like Chris Hemsworth was on Hot Ones to promote the movie, so I'm surprised more younger people didn't go see it. I guess if that's what people. I don't know. I don't know how younger people consume their marketing. I don't know. But I was there for it as soon as I heard the trailer, when the trailer dropped. But yeah, it was fucking awesome. Go see Furiosa if you're into it. It's fucking rad. It's a good time.
I mean, if you're somehow on the fence and that didn't sell it, go fucking see it,
just
please.
Go. You're gonna have a great time.
Do yourself a favor.
It's really, really good. And the storytelling's excellent. And again, like Sean said, like everything about it, it's got a surrealistic feel. It's a Miller film. It's Miller time, literally.
Miller is also just if not the best, one of the best at just visual storytelling, getting actors to tell it all with their face. I mean, look at Charlize Theron in Fury Road, Tom Hardy, and now Anya Taylor-Joy. What's his name? Tom Beck, I think his name is. Tom Burke, the guy who played Jack, Praetorian Jack, was fucking unbelievable.
He was cool too.
Even excuse me for not knowing his name, but the guy who replaced the original actor who played Morton Joe did great.
The guy who was toe cutter in the original.
Yes. Who was actually who died, and now the guy who played him in the new one, I believe, I don't remember the name of the character, but the other important war boy, the one that wasn't Nux, the other one that drives the Interceptor.
He
was like his buddy. It was actually a Morton Joe in this one.
Really?
Or no, he was Scrotus.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I did see that, but it was a different actor as a Morton because he had passed away.
Yeah, well, because that guy passed away. But like
anyway, really well done. You couldn't even tell.
Not that you couldn't tell, like, but
maybe you could.
But it was pretty. It was pretty fucking good.
They did a good job.
Really good job. Stature and everything, and voice and everything was pretty on point.
Also, just the only other real spoiler I'll mention is that I thought it was interesting how Morton had this whole cable of like guys that worked with him. I mean, you do see him in Fury Road, but I guess I didn't think they were literally like his cabinet of warmongers. Yeah. It's like, oh shit, they're literally like planning strategies together. And then he totally just blows that one guy away, no thought in his head, in fucking Fury Road. The fat guy with the gout.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, well, it's kind of interesting. Again, it's world building. I know some people, even Stephen King came out and said he hates that term, which makes me scratch my head a little, but it's world building done very well.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it all worked, especially the story threads and how it all worked together. And Gastown and Bullet Town and what is it called? The
Green Place or the Sanctuary.
The Sanctuary.
Citadel, actually.
The Citadel, excuse me, yeah. But then they add like another place into the mist, which is cool. I don't know. Go see it. It's sweet.
Yeah, Nathan Jones, Nate. He's good in this. He comes back as Rictus. He's the brother. I had a baby brother.
Erectus.
Erectus. He's not in it a ton. They have a really creepy scene with him that is implying some dark shit.
Yeah, Erectus and Scrotus are in it.
Yeah, well, I'm saying like Nathan Jones. I was mixing the actors up in my head.
I thought you meant
no.
Nate.
No, that was a little confusing. Yes, Nathan in the chat mentioning Nathan Jones. Yes.
But yeah, Furiosa was dope. And then another movie that I was really excited to see, which I got to see the other day, was In a Violent Nature.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And Sean had gotten to see it too. So we're going to talk about it a little bit. We're not doing an episode on it, but we're going to talk a little bit about it here. We might do an episode on Furiosa. We haven't decided
Yeah, like
yet.
I said, that even, like, that's, again, if Fury Road rates so highly and Furiosa rates so highly, it's still a thought. It's just not confirmed that we're doing it.
It's not confirmed, and it's like they were fucking rad. There you go. You know what I mean?
I could talk about it. I definitely
could. I could talk about it, too. And I could talk more in depth about In a Violent Nature, too, but I want to talk about it kind of surface level so I don't spoil anything for you guys.
That's fair.
But, it was, I was really excited to see it. I remember when the trailer dropped out, and
the trailer is phenomenal.
And the idea about a slasher that followed the killer was super interesting. I mean, and like we have talked about it on the show. I know Connor used to love the idea of that.
He brought it up before.
He
the concept
would bring it up the most because he always wanted. Because when we talk about like Freddy and Jason, he always wanted to see like the Jason movie where we follow Jason and the humanization of Jason and all that.
Or what is he really doing
or
while everyone else is partying?
You know, when he's partying or whatever. And to that extent, it works for the first 30 minutes, and you're like, this is really interesting because it's like, especially, is that a spoiler if I say resurrection scene?
I mean, you already said it. I mean, it's the first minute. I mean, I guess that is one of the spoilers, is that this thing is basically Jason, zombie Jason. It's not regular Jason.
It's fucking Friday the 13th, part 6. Okay?
On surface level.
It's part 6.
I mean, I might be showing my hand a little bit how I felt about the film, but part 6 blows it out of the water.
No shit. Comparatively, but I'm talking about
the monster,
where he is, and how we meet him.
Oh, I mean, okay, sure, okay,
that is
fine.
a fucking TJ special.
It's definitely a reference without a doubt.
100%. So, it's cool. It's like a love letter to slasher films, specifically the Friday films. But you know, it's fucking rad, and there's like a lot of suspense. There's a lot of great key scenes that I really liked about it. But
I mean, it did have me shaking in my seat, Joe, a couple times.
No, a couple times.
I gotta give it that.
A couple times there was some
gross me out.
Yeah, but like,
it's all right.
No, it's all right. There's some really good tension in the movie, and the movie relies more on the anticipation than it does. There's no music. There's no stingers. It's all sound design. And
the music is like him moving through these fucking trees.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The
think about it
nature is the music.
Yeah.
But you know, it's the fear and what you're scared of comes from the way that the shots are done, because you see the impending doom coming, and then it finally happens, and you're like, holy shit. And it's kind of like it's the tension of that is what is the scary part of it. So there are no jump scares. You see everything kind of coming right in front of you, which is pretty fucking unique. And I think, you know, as an experimental piece, I think it's really cool. I'm glad that it was made. I'm glad that it's doing well. I'm glad I saw it. I'm glad it was in the theaters. I'm glad people are going to see it in theaters, because these are the types of things that we need to go see to make Hollywood and all these other companies know that we want to see different shit. Maybe not necessarily this is the end all be all, but we want different stuff. We want to see
more variety.
We want variety. We want them to take more chances. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is such a unique film that while I didn't love it, I still love the idea of it, and I'm glad that it was made, because we finally got to see what that would be.
Yeah.
That being said, man, that ending really fucked it for me, man. Fucked it right in its face.
That is such a spoiler, though. It's like you can't even really talk about it.
Not yet, anyway.
Give it maybe the next live show if there's enough time that has passed, if people are still interested. Yeah. The ending really does shit a bed. The bed. Shit's the great. And you really can't even explain why without it just spoiling what it is. It's just, I didn't like what they did either, and I could kind of see maybe what they're trying to accomplish, but again, it's hard to really describe without just saying it.
Let me see if I could do this without spoiling it.
Okay.
This movie shows you all the stuff that you wouldn't normally see in a slasher. So all of the parts, it's like the elongated version of the slasher movie versus the truncated version.
Right, like he's walking around the woods. You see it every time.
Right, but not just with that. It's also the ending specifically.
Yeah.
There was something I wanted to say about one more thing just on that note. It was good, and again, I appreciate it. The sound design was fucking incredible, and it was shot really, really well. I mean, it looked nice. Also, it was in 4:3, which I wasn't expecting.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Not that adds really to anything, because all the original slashers are in widescreen anyway. Like when you watch it at the theater.
I literally didn't even think about that.
It was only 4:3 because it was made to fit your fucking television on tape. Which I thought was kind of weird because there was no other film effects to it. It was just 4:3,
wow,
which was interesting choice.
Right over my head.
Yeah, it's an art. Somebody
got art house is the key word.
Somebody got art house in my slasher movie, and I don't hate it, but it's also like, oh, that's what I want to say. All the fun things about a slasher movie are not present, and I think it feels weird because of that. Again, it's a cool idea. It's not for everybody.
Hmm.
It's not what the trailers make it out to be. And
that
I think,
is true.
And I think that's why people are fucking really hating on it too, because they're promised one thing and it's another. I guess it's not this. It's a slow paced, tension built movie, and it is first and foremost an art movie, and then a slasher movie. You have long shots. It holds on things for a long time. You know, it's nothing new. Like if you watch French cinema or French horror, I can think of like Inside or Martyrs we were talking about before, or specifically Irreversible. You want to talk
that was
about
the one you mentioned.
You want to talk about fucking uncomfortably long, disgusting scenes that make you squirm in your seat? That's the film. So it was kind of weird to see it done like this. But
there's especially one kill that we won't go into. There's one that they really like take their time, which I thought was excessive, but I also get that was the point, and maybe that's why it wasn't for me. Also, some of those long shots, I was like, all right, on the 12th one, I was still feeling it, but like the 15th, I was like, can we wrap it the fuck up?
The big problem for me was that it didn't follow the normal. I know it's breaking all the norms, but it kind of was too fartsy for its own good, and I think I had said that at some point. But you need to ramp up, and you need to come to a climax, and you need to have all of those story bits, and like there needs to be more there. The problem was it went up, and then it went right the fuck back down, and it was like, oh, what are you doing? Why did you do it like that? Like you could have made some other choices where you could have still kept the integrity of what you wanted to do and made it a more entertaining and more satisfying experience, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I guess the only other thing I'll say, well, might be a bit too much of a spoiler, but there is a sequence early, and I guess I'll try to keep it vague, where they do this like inserted shot of the character looking in a mirror to explain a plot point, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure I could have figured that out with the context clues. It involves a necklace, that's what I'll say. I was like, I don't think that was necessary at all, and it almost just seemed like they were trying to make it more like Jason than it needed to be.
Yeah.
When you're already kind of, it's a fucking guy walking around the woods with a hood on. I mean, how much more on the nose can you already be?
Well, we got it, but I did like some of the storytelling beats.
I'm trying to dance around it a little because it's so new. But.
Yeah, I did like some of the storytelling beats. It didn't completely stick to exactly what the goal was in terms of like following characters. When it was supposed to be mainly following the killer.
Yeah.
Also, I love that they didn't show his face until they did.
I remember you didn't like that, but when I watched it, it didn't bother me as much in context of where it was showed, but I could understand that argument.
For what they were trying to do for that scene, I don't think you needed to show his face.
That also leans into my problem where they're trying too hard to make it like Jason when it's already a fucking zombie walking around with a hood on, but I'll leave it at that. You have to kind of see it to get the full context.
Yeah, but I 100% think if it's playing by you, definitely go see it. I don't think you're going to be disappointed.
No.
I just think it might not be. Just understand what you're getting into. And
I was a little disappointed. I still thought it was good.
I was a little disappointed too, but because it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. But now that I'm mellowing out, I'm like, yeah, it was pretty good, but like it didn't fully hit the mark where I wanted it to be. But that doesn't mean it was bad. I did like it.
No, right? Yeah, I know you're getting in some not arguments, but people are busting your chops a little about your opinion.
I'm just being critical
of
it, and I think we're allowed to do that even with independent films.
And because I see it in the chat, I'm going to mention, unless you had more to say about that film.
No, that was it.
Another film we both saw, we talked about it. I see some jokes in the chat. I think they're jokes. No! Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, I saw Valerie had mentioned it. Who else did? There's a few people in there.
I actually like that movie a lot, but that was such a weird. It had to be a callback to fucking Rise, where he's yelling no. That was a little painful.
Actually, what happened was the apes saw Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, the apes saw it.
Yeah, the apes saw Revenge of the Sith.
And the inserted no.
Yeah, with the insert, and James Earl Jones is no, and they were like, there it is, Darth Vader. No, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Yes, I saw it. It was, man, you want to talk about a fucking beautiful movie? Holy shit, it's gorgeous.
You're not kidding.
Gorgeous. We saw it in Dolby Vision, so that it was great. It looks.
Did you get the monkey piss sprayed at you?
I get the monkey. No, that's 4D.
Oh, that river's hitting you when that monkey has trouble.
Monkey trouble.
We'll leave it at that.
Oh boy. It just flashed his head with what's her face from Hocus Pocus.
Oh god.
And the little Reese's monkey.
Oh god.
Anyway,
yeah.
Monkey trouble. What the hell was it? Oh, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Yes, it's a gorgeous movie.
Well, that's how you lead up with it.
Well, because I want to say good stuff about it, because there are good things about it. There are good pieces that I like about it. The problem with me is I thought War for the Planet of the Apes was a perfect ending to the new series to lead into the original series.
I 100% agree.
And then just, Apes Together strong. Those movies together strong. That's a strong, very strong
great trilogy.
Trilogy for the rest of
also, like a trilogy where it's like the reverse of what typically happens, where the third one takes a shit. It's like, no, actually, like all three are good. The first one's somehow the weakest.
Exactly. But I didn't have a problem with the story in terms of like what they were doing. It's just the same story again.
Yeah, you were saying that.
And when I hear like it's the same thing again. There's still some humans, and like I thought it was going to end. Can we spoil it a little bit?
I mean, it basically ends. If you don't want to know, skip ahead like a minute.
But like the way that it ends, the whole point of the movie is like the apes, the Maximus Caesar, who's like the new
Caesar, yeah.
The new leader who adopts the name Caesar to have control over the apes because he's basically
an ancestor.
Yeah, he's using the religion of the apes against them. Basically.
Right. Yeah.
That's what he's doing. With the help of what's his face from Jurassic Park 3? The hell's his name?
I have no idea.
The guy from Shameless. Anyway.
Oh, William H. I forgot he was even in the movie.
William H. Macy is teaching this fucking ape about like
he's a history man.
Yeah, but he's teaching him about all of these past civilizations that have taken over like dynasties and power hungry people like Alexander the Great and Attila the Hun and all these fucking people. So he's taking notes from this and kind of using it to control the apes because he's abducting different tribes from all over the place. So now all the free apes are now under his rule. And he's basically lying to them because he wants to get into this fucking nuclear bunker where there's guns and electricity and fire and science and all this shit.
Well, he's also creating his kingdom of the planet because he's using Caesar's words against them as like, well, I'm right because he was the first one who freed us.
Exactly.
And he's my fucking great-great-great-grandpappy.
Yeah, or some shit.
No, I think it's literally because they're doing they're referencing what happens with the monarchy back in the day. That's exactly what happened. All those monarchies fucking took a shit because the guy who actually was in charge who did a good job been dead for 200 years, and now his ancestors just using the name to be a dickhead.
Well, sure, exactly. I don't know if he's directly blood
it's
linked
100%.
to him. I don't know if that's true or not. But anyway, the fact of the matter is he came to power using Caesar's name.
It's more about inherited will than blood will. It's more about because Noah is the inherited. He inherits Caesar's will. It's not Caesar's ancestor.
It's about deceit. It's about deceiving the populace, and it's about promising people things for your personal gain.
You're right.
And power. And violence, and they're killing apes if they have to.
Yeah.
Shit like that. If they don't,
the Cobra route.
It's like, yeah, come on, come join us. Oh, you don't want to? Now you're fucking dead.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, the case in point is that I was trying to make the culmination of the end of the movie is that there's a cave on a cliff, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, this is where it's going to end up.
Goes to.
And I'm like, this is where Cornelius was doing his excavation in the first Planet of the Apes. Nope. That's not what happens. It turns out...
Well, you didn't know that they already have 2 more sequels planned.
And it turns out there's 5 more fucking sequels for this movie planned, and I'm like, I don't need it. That's what I heard.
I think it's... I don't know if that's accurate.
Yeah.
I thought it was like 5, including like... I guess I thought it was 3 and then 3 new ones, which would get you to 6. I don't know where the 5 comes from, but that's insane if they're doing fucking 4 more.
I don't know how you're going to do 3 more movies without it being the samey bullshit.
And it's the same thing that happened with the first trilogy. I said this to you and Chris when we were talking about it.
I know, but like, I don't
It's going to take a shit.
But that sucks because like, if you just ended on a high note, it would have been better. And like, look, I'm all for stories to tell if you have a good story to tell.
Yeah.
Like, goddamn, War was just so good.
Wow.
And the closing of that movie was just so excellent. And like they left this one open purposely. Like when Reeves made the other movies, it was like, okay, this could be the last one. If
both of them could have been.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Rise clearly ended in a way where there was a sequel happening. But like War and Dawn, both you could say, well, that's the end, right? And then they found a way to make it continue,
right? Which is fine. But like, I don't know. I don't need it all spelled out for me, and I like being like, this is how this ended, and this is where we are with Heston. You know what I mean? So
I mean, also
that's my opinion.
I mean, the Andy Serkis trilogy, to be totally fair to, is literally like you see the birth of Caesar and the death of Caesar.
It's great
over the course of those movies, and that is kind of like it's very poetic. And and if you watch them, I don't know, it hits you pretty hard. I came really late to those films. I even tweeted about it at the time. Like, I didn't watch them until like literally Kingdom came out, and I was like kicking my own ass over it.
They're so good, man.
They're literally probably one of the best trilogies I think in our lifetime. Especially like, not that it's an original IP, but like it brought apes back from like the fucking ashes. Like Tim Burton pissed on those ashes, and like buried them, and I forget who did the first one, but whoever was in charge of that first film, and James Franco even though he's canceled now, at the time he wasn't. They brought the apes back, and I'm happy about it because I liked Kingdom. I understand everything you're saying, Joe.
Yeah,
I'm there for it. I guess the ending's implying.
I didn't say it was bad,
but I understand what you mean. Like you were good at war.
Yeah.
I guess now there's more humans in space. They keep looking through a telescope in Kingdom, and they don't ever show what they see. I guess there's either a spaceship or something. They're a fucking blimp. I don't know what they're seeing. We never see it.
Well, now we're completely going to be deviating. Whereas
it has to be, right?
Whereas
it's not going to ever get to Heston.
Whereas those first 4 movies, the remake movies, which I will go out and say that they are the best remakes or requels, whatever you want to call them.
I would agree.
Of all time.
I mean, unless you run them with like The Thing. It's like, okay, well, besides The Thing.
No, I don't think The Thing is a good requel.
Remake.
Oh, yeah.
But you just go by remake.
No, but I just mean like as a whole.
Yeah, no, you're right.
You know what I mean? I mean, the way that they did the story and crafted it and respected the originals and kind of paid homage to the originals, but also let the originals be their own thing where like, okay, well, this is the stories that happen and it's really strong and really good. And then you can put the pieces together and that's where it goes. You know what I mean? But just to your point, like they're going to deviate and they're going to be like, oh, look, well, now this. You know how the apes in the original Planet of the Apes knew the star systems and
this is how they found out
biology and all this bullshit. It's like, okay, we fucking know.
Well, it's like Solo. We don't need that many details. I don't need all that.
We don't need the Imperial March played in the fucking in the movie like real time for the characters to hear it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're sitting there with the flute playing it. Yeah, right. Listen, I'm there for the next Planet of the Apes. I kind of hope, like, even though I like how the last trilogy, again, you could watch each movie on its own, has a beginning and the end. I hope that just as a point of difference, because also I feel like each of those films is also very different from the last, minus the ape to human relation.
Yeah.
I kind of would be interested to keep some of these human characters alive for more than one fucking film this time.
That's
bring not Nova. She's called Nova, but she has an actual name. If she's a consistent character in this trilogy and we play with that instead of, well, she's gone after one film like the last trilogy, that could be interesting because now you have a face where Noah and his tribe know, okay, well, she helped us, but did she really? There's some animosity instead of, well, we have a new faceless villain to deal with, another Woody Harrelson character, which we already got.
You're exactly saying all the things that I don't want to see.
I would like. Yes, but if we had something with the woman, that could be interesting, or I guess say, fuck it, Space Marines, I don't know.
But they're also going to...
Hammer of Dawn's going to start shooting down lasers from the sky.
They're gonna fucking keep humans because they cannot make a whole ape movie.
Well, that was your idea,
and that's my
all apes,
and that's my problem with it. Like,
that would be cool.
It's got to be all apes at some point in terms of, because everybody's like, you know, stupid, quote unquote.
Dawn's the closest we ever got to that.
Yeah, right. Well, Kingdom is. Because they show the humans and they're all feral and shit except for this one faction. That's not.
Well, closest to the original, right? I'm thinking about how Koba has his faction in Dawn, but that's a good point.
Dawn is I think Dawn's my favorite.
It's definitely between Dawn and War. No offense to Rise. Again, it's amazing, but those two other films just are so good.
But the culmination in War, where like Caesar realizes that the apes are no better than the humans, that was some hard hitting, powerful shit.
Yeah.
Anyway,
we talked about that for a while.
Yeah, we talked about that for a while. But that's fun. That's what this is about.
No, yeah. I mean, I watch a ton of shit. I could sit here and talk forever.
There's a ton of stuff. I'm just trying to see what's topical, like the news stuff.
I watched that. I mean, it's from 2023, but it came out on Netflix like literally yesterday. Lumberjack the Monster from Takashi Miike.
Shit, I want to see that.
Highly recommend it.
Yeah,
I thought it was good.
It's
good. I guess the short synopsis is that there's this lawyer who's secretly a serial killer. I mean, you find out in the first 5 minutes. He's a serial killer, but, you know, there's this other person going around killing serial killers or people that are not necessarily right in the head.
Okay.
And there's
Japanese Dexter.
Literally, well, not literally. You have to watch it.
No, sure.
But it's in that vein, sure. And there's a cop or a unit, let's say, going after him, and it actually gets a lot more The plot was a lot more interesting than I was anticipating. Like, it actually goes places where I'm like, holy shit, that's kind of interesting. Like, if that was a real thing. I don't want to say because it literally will spoil the movie.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it. It's violent, but it's not over the top violent. It's more of like, it's not Itchy the Killer. It's not necessarily your splatterfest you get from Miike occasionally. It's a little bit more, even though it's about people killing people, serial killers, and cops going after them. It's more nuanced than that. It's kind of what I go to Miike for. Maybe not what everybody goes to Miike for.
Okay.
I'm saying Miike. I think it's Miike, right? It's not Mike,
Miike.
is it? Okay.
It's Miike.
But it's very good. I was kind of
I want to check
surprised.
that out, man.
Not that I should be, but
well, speaking of Japanese movies, I picked up. I had picked it up a while ago, but from TerrorVision, I had gotten Door and Door 2.
I saw you posting about that.
Door was fucking awesome, man. It was like it's dubbed as a home invasion movie, and it kind of is. It's more like a stalker-ish.
Oh god.
It's about the stalker who is like a salesman, and this woman like breaks his hand like because he's like trying to get in, and he ends up stalking this woman, and it's really fucking creepy and disturbing, and it's awesome. If you get a chance, I would just grab it and pick it up and watch it.
And they're both about someone being stalked?
No. So the second one, so we fired up Door 2, which is Tokyo Diary, and that's a completely different flavor movie. So it's almost like how Halloween is to Halloween 3 in terms of like Door in the second movie is more like a metaphor for like what's waiting behind the door.
That's interesting.
And what's waiting behind
Inception
the door.
got a lot of mileage out of that idea.
Yeah.
Or not Inception, Insidious.
And that one is a very much more like perverse, like taboo, self-exploration kind of movie drama.
Oh wow.
It's pretty good. It's good. It's good for different reasons than the first movie, and it's a totally different flavor than the first movie. But they were really good. We watched those. What else?
I watched Shogun. That was like about a month ago at this point.
That,
it's really good. Yeah. And then I just kind of went on a samurai and Kurosawa kick after that. I watched like Ran, Rashomon.
You jumped right into it.
I watched all those Satoichi films. I watched the first 7 or 8 already. They're on Criterion. There's like 27 of them.
Holy shit, man.
Like there's like 25 with Shintaro Matsu, and there's like a few others that came out after the fact. Yeah. Actually, one of them starring what's his face from Takashi's Castle? What's his fucking name? The main guy from Battle Royale.
Yeah. I know. I forget.
His name's escaping, but that guy, he apparently plays Satoichi in one of the movies.
There's
by Takashi Miike, actually.
There's more Satoichi movies than there are Godzilla movies.
You know what's funny? They have all the Godzilla Showa era stuff on there because they did that set a couple years back, but that's where it ends. I'm like, all right. So we got up to Hidora's on here. We got the crab monster.
Yeah, well, you go up to Terror of Mechagodzilla.
Yeah.
And then you get your Heisei or whatever the fuck.
Heisei. Oh, yeah, we were talking about that last time.
Heisei.
Your mother's hey.
She say, we say.
Yeah.
I forget.
But Shogun, just also to add just one last note on that. It's based on a book. I never actually read the book, but from the 70s, it's like a fictionalized, telling of that time period. All the names are not real Japanese people, but if you look up who they're supposed to be based on, or fictionalized, who they're based on, you could be like, oh, okay, I could see why this character was represented like this, but really well done characters, acting's incredible, sets are great. If you like anything about Japanese history and you look at this and you say, oh, it's about some white guy, what the fuck? Like Last Samurai, I feel like people look at that movie like, oh, it's about Tom Cruise. Why would I watch that? It's like, no, if you actually watch the movie, it's not about that. It's about how they fit in. It's more about everything around them. They're just a part of the story.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's very well done.
I definitely want to check that out.
Like 10 episodes.
Speaking of Japanese, and monsters and kaiju and stuff like that, I went to Kaiju Brooklyn yesterday, which was fucking rad. I went with my wife and Chris Barr that we do Talks from the Dark Side with, and his cousin, and a couple other friends, and we it was cool. We hung out and got some stuff and got some stickers and had some sake and it was like a Japanese village that was upstairs.
Cool.
So we had like this Japanese shaved ice that was incredible. We had like a fluffy cheesecake, which was fucking amazing. We like walked around the market and stuff. I got what the hell are they called? I don't know. I forgot the triangle rice
onigiri
balls. Yeah, onigiri. I got onigiri and some sushi. It was awesome. I had a really good time. So that was fun.
That sounds fun.
And then Godzilla -1 dropped on Netflix.
Oh yeah,
the same day. So we came home and we watched Godzilla -1. So that was fun.
Still gotta watch it in color. I'm waiting. My wife was away this weekend, so I'll watch it with her at some point. Still waiting on that damn Blu-ray to get announced.
I got a Blu-ray from Sloppy Second Sales.
You were telling me
yeah,
that.
I was like, I need this on Blu-ray, so if it never comes out, I have it now. But I still stand by the fact that like that movie was made to be black and white. Like I watched it again in color, and I was like, it's really great, and I love it in color. But like that fucking movie is made to be black and white.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Fury Road, they did the similar idea.
Shiny
and Chrome, where they actually just like -1, actually color corrected it to the black and white, which is what you should fucking do if you're going to do it.
No, 100%. They did it.
Because you know some movies that try to pull that, it's like, okay, like that's cool, but you can't even see what the fuck's happening during half of this.
The Mist did that, I think. When The Mist came out on DVD, they did a black and white version, which was fun to watch.
I wonder if Logan actually they did the work.
Logan did that too.
Did they do the work or they just grayscale that bitch?
Geez, I don't know.
I don't remember.
I gotta watch it in black and white. I didn't do that.
I'll watch the original. I mean, the black and white's cool, but I gotta revisit Logan, especially with the new one coming out.
Oh, it's so good. Oh yeah, we're gonna.
Even though that movie's kind of depressing, I don't know if I actually want to rewatch it. It's like a 5 out of 5, but holy shit, is that movie rough?
It's great though,
man. With Charles Xavier having dementia, it's like I don't know if I need this shit.
It is rough, but it's so good. There's so many great parts, and like the it's kind of like the next stage of the mutants and them going on and things like that with like X20.
Oh yeah, like the clone or whatever. Yeah, I saw it once in theaters, and I think I might have like caught it on TV at one point, like part of it. It's good.
So that's cool too. Yeah. Do you guys like have any questions or stuff? Do we want to do a little bit
of
that?
Yeah.
And then we can talk about like what we've been up to and what's coming up. We talked a lot about some new movie stuff.
Yeah, so we talked like an hour.
You got like 3 or 4 mini reviews there for you.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to ask us something, burning questions, or just anything you want to talk about, we'd love to talk to you a little bit because we haven't really been taking anything from the chat yet. So we'll do that. And then we'll talk about some projects we got going on, and then we'll talk about what's coming up for June and kind of what the deal is going forward.
Rock Strongo says they just watched -1 today, and it was so fucking good. Yes, it is.
It's so fucking good. It's great. I saw it 3 times in the theater.
Oh, man, really?
One in XD, one in IMAX, and then black and white.
Right, when we saw it.
When we saw it. Yeah, it was great.
Sean Laughlin says Cyberman should be the new main character in the next Planet of the Apes.
I wish.
He's coming from space. That's what they actually saw in that telescope they were looking at. Because the thing is, a few characters looking at it. The human woman looks and the monkeys look.
Well, we talked about how Cyberman's in the Rise of Skywalker.
I still haven't watched that.
He puts together Kylo Ren's helmet.
Is that what he does?
Yeah, puts it back together.
I need to watch
Cyberman. I guess I'll talk about it because I have some Cyberman news.
You want since we're waiting for a couple questions to come in. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna in a second. Let's see.
All right.
Yeah, just
baiting the audience.
Yeah, at Movie Dumpster so we can pop out the question. Yeah,
good call. Also, you may have answered this earlier. I'll check the feed. But Chang Zero or Chang O says, "What movie would you most want to review with Hack the Movies?" Oh man. Well, we just did that Heavyweights episode, which part of that was because we did the Q&A. There was actually a few other people in the hat for that episode initially, but Tony took the taco on that one.
Something we've talked about before in length. I just got the new Shout Blu-ray. I want to do Island of Dr. Moreau with Tony.
We were almost gonna do a mini on that like 2 years ago, and time escaped us.
Maybe
on that
we
one.
Just pulled the trigger and do because that new
Val Kilmer one, right?
Yeah, that new disc just dropped with Marlon Brando as Dr. Moreau.
Oh God, right?
Yeah, it's so good.
I haven't seen it.
I really like that movie a lot. So that'll be a fun one to do with Tony.
I've only seen the original, and it's probably been like almost 30 years.
Isn't the original story is H.G. Wells, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah. Even fucking Batman the Animated Series did an episode that was basically that movie with the cat lady.
Oh, kind of. Oh, yeah, where there were splicing genes.
Yeah, it was kind of in that vein at least.
Well, yeah, like enhancing humans or whatever. Yeah.
Well, it had like the weird jungle shit. Like I don't know if the Val Kilmer Monroe had that, but I definitely think the one from like the 40s or 50s definitely had some jungle ass shit like in a cage. It's been a while since I saw it.
Well, Dr. Moreau makes
the creatures,
animals into humans, like human. Makes them into humanoids.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, anthropomorphic.
Right.
Dan Belcher is asking, I'm trying to get my girlfriend into 80s horror. What would you recommend? She's a wimp if that helps. Dude, start her easy, man.
Yeah.
Monster Squad, Fright Night.
Fright Night's pretty violent.
Yeah, but it's scary, but it's not too scary.
I guess that's true.
Geez, I don't know.
I was about to say Evil Dead, but that's pretty gory.
No. Something more lighter but fun.
Lost Boys, maybe. You think that might still ride the line?
Lost Boys could be in there. Shit, I don't know. Little Monsters. Like, you can like start off with like kid-friendly movies. The Gate would be a good one. That one's
Gremlins.
Scary. That one's scary as shit, though. So it depends. What is she a wimp?
Right.
For?
Well, that's the thing. I'm trying to
think. Is she squeamish? What is she scared of?
That's true. Yeah. Rumpelstiltskin.
That's 90s.
Oh, yeah, he said 80s, right? Yeah, that's a tough question. I did. If you want to get like an answer of what my top 5 are, you can go over to the Flicks and Friends podcast. Yeah. Did an episode last year with Dustin and Paul on that. So there's 5. I don't think they would really help your wife, but there's 5 there.
Ooh, House.
Poltergeist. Somebody's one of them.
Somebody said Nate said House. That's a good one.
House is a good one.
Not
the American one, to be clear.
Yeah, not Houseu, and not the one with not the TV show with the doctor. It's House, 1985.
That's House MD, Joe.
With that was done by Sean Cunningham.
Starring why is his name
William Catt?
William Catt, yeah.
Yeah. What else we got?
D83.
Yep. You want to read it one?
Sure, yeah. Guys planning something big for Halloween this year? LOL, I hate the summer.
Every year, baby?
Every year. I don't even know.
Trick or Trash. We have not gotten there yet, but every year we do Trick or Trash. I said do. For October, every year
yes, every year
is Trick or Trash. So yeah, get ready. We're gonna have some fun stuff. We're kind of
we're not planning that far ahead anymore because it's just, I think we talked about it before, but like outside of very specific things, we end up burning ourselves if we think that far ahead. But yeah, like Joe said, every Halloween, every October, we always have a shitload of Halloween stuff.
You can always expect us to do events for Halloween, Christmas, and Christmas for sure. So
Trash St. Patty's Day.
And but specifically we do a whole month for October and December.
True.
And then you get that middle ground in November with some fun stuff too.
I guarantee there'll be some good shit, but I couldn't tell you what for the life of me right now. I'm not even lying. I couldn't even lie to you about it.
And not for nothing, we're not gonna fucking spoil it right now.
True.
If we did,
maybe on Patreon, but that might be in like August. Or September.
Yeah, it'll be closer to when we drop it. Nate says, "Do you think we're going into an era where video games movies have shaken their curse and are getting better than comic book movies?"
You had me in the first half, Nate. No. I don't think they've quite. I mean, comic book movies have definitely, at least in my opinion, taken a bit of a shit the last couple of years, but overall, they're still a lot better. And I mean, listen, you're talking to 2 guys that love the Super Mario Brothers movie. And I mean, I don't like it, but it is entertaining. Double Dragon is another one. Mortal Kombat, of course, comes to mind.
But like,
we like those films.
But what are the more recent ones? Like Monster Hunter,
Mario movie.
Yeah, but that's fine because it was an animated kids movie. But like,
it made $1 bajillion.
I know, but Monster Hunter was shit.
That also made a lot of money.
Yeah, but I didn't like that.
Sure.
What else had come out?
I thought the Dungeons and Dragons movie was really good, but that's more
that's like
on
RPG,
tabletop games, and then there was like that weird shit with Hasbro attached to it that I talked about at the time.
Well, you watched The Witcher, didn't you? What'd you think of that?
I gave up on that show. I watched the first 2 seasons.
No good?
I heard the 3rd season was okay, but what's his face is already like not coming back, so I think he phoned it in like a motherfucker. Superman, Henry Cavill, and now he got replaced by one of the guy from fucking Hunger Games.
Peeta?
Chris Hemsworth's brother.
No. Oh, he's a Hemsworth?
Yeah, the younger Hemsworth. I'm kind of good on Witcher. The first 2 seasons are good. But then it's like, it was a case of the people that wrote it or the people that were in charge of it didn't give a shit about the source material and just were trying to like do their own thing. And then like Henry Cavill was a huge fan of the books and was like, well, the whole reason I agreed to do this was because you were going to make it like the books. And they just said no.
Well,
that whole thing.
That'll do shit, you know?
I think we're getting there, Nathan, but I think it's still going to take a while for video game movies to end up on the better half of comic books. There's just too many good comic book movies to really compare overall.
A Spider-Man movie will win for me any day of the week over a video game movie. Just unless it's like terribly, horribly bad.
Sure.
But like, I'm really looking forward to that new Silent Hill movie. That looks cool.
Yeah, and like, I don't even know if I should be excited about this, but that Zelda movie is happening, so...
Fuck, I don't need that shit.
It's happening. They've already said it is. Miyamoto's all about it.
I don't care if it's happening. I don't need it.
I'll see it. I didn't see Mario, but I have to see Zelda.
You didn't see Mario, but
I could care fucking less about Chris Pratt, but it's Chris Pratt Mario.
Right, but like...
I guess I'd have to see the trailer. If it totally doesn't sell it to me, maybe fuck Zelda
totally
too.
Fine. Like, it's totally
It's just
fine.
Not what I wanted in a Mario movie at all.
And you think the Zelda movie is going to be what you want?
Well, I'm saying, let's see the trailer.
Okay.
I think it has a much higher chance of at least being decent.
Is it animated?
I don't remember what I think they're actually trying to do a live action, so it might suck. Blame Miyamoto. I think Sony's doing it, so I'm eating my words as I'm explaining it.
Fuck me. Okay.
I don't have the page in front of me with the details.
Yeah, because Sony's track record is really good.
Green Lantern,
especially with all those great movies coming out, like Venom, The Last Dance, and Morbius, Madam Web.
Hopefully that answered your question, Nate, in some capacity.
And my answer's still no.
I do want to see what that Zelda movie's gonna be. At least.
I mean, we'll see.
Yeah. Don't have high hopes, but I am interested.
Chango, or Chango.
Chang Zero.
That would be amazing. He says that would be amazing. I saw the Simpsons parody of it, and it's It's Chang no E at the end, so it is Chango.
Okay, we figured it out.
Great work. And thank you so much. That was very nice of you.
Thank you, and thanks to everyone else in the chat and listening for inviting us in our bullshit.
Back to Dan Belcher. His girlfriend hates realistic gore and jump scares.
That's rough then, man. I don't know. You gotta look up some light shit then.
I don't know. It's tough.
When you say jump scares, that might be a little rough, especially anything from the 80s is like littered with jump scares.
Yeah, I don't know. Non-heavily gory things.
Puppet Master, maybe? The original? It's got some gore, but it's not over the top.
No, and it's more like psychological in a lot of parts. I think that could work.
Definitely not Hellraiser. There's one to stay away from.
Yeah, don't do that. None of the slashers, obviously.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe like tear up with some kid stuff. Do Monster Squad. Yeah. Do Little Monsters. Do The Gate. Do shit like that.
Little Monsters is
Ghoulies would even work fine. Yeah. If you wanted to mess with that. Troll, I don't really consider a horror movie, but
Troll would be good.
It's like fantasy horror.
It's more creepy than scary.
Yeah, it's more creepy than scary, and the puppets might freak her out, so that might be a good one to do. Yeah,
it's a loaded ass question.
It's tough.
Wicked Tuna says when we get an old school horror Tubi movie review again. I mean, we just did Mom. I think does that count?
Yeah,
was that on Tubi?
Mom is on Tubi. I'm almost positive.
I'm trying to think. We do actually have the next couple months. Or at least the next month, basically figured out. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think if anything might fit that. I think Mom might be the closest. We'll be circling back on some Tubi shit very soon, I'm sure.
And we apologize. We don't really base things that are on streaming. We base it on what we want to talk about.
Yeah, we do at least try when we do like a commentary track. I know we don't do a ton of those, but when we do at least try to think about it for those because we know people need to physically have it or it needs to be streaming to do
if it's streaming or what. But
generally. To Joe's point, we don't know. I mean, we have in the past thought about that.
Yeah,
but it's not the key thing we think about.
When we can a movie. We consider it, but we're not. It's not going to be the main selling point. And we tried to tell you guys, like if we do when we do the reviews, we usually try to tell you where you can get it. Yeah. Where if it's on streaming or if it's on this whatever site it's on.
I mean, I will say it's definitely not like the days of those first probably 2 or 3 seasons that we did where we were really deep in there, where I was like hunting on these like illegal websites just to watch some of these films because they were that fucking unknown.
And the whole time, like, he could have just asked me for
a rip. Some of those I think even you didn't have. I remember those days, Joe, even if you don't.
Which ones?
I Unluckiest Leprechaun. Actually, you might have had that.
Yeah, I did.
There's a few. I'd have to like literally go down the list. My mind doesn't work as well. I can't remember all 190 movies we reviewed.
No, it's all good.
Equilibrium was definitely one of those ones. Weirdly enough, you couldn't
find.
There's an example that sounds familiar.
Low Wang DC says any VHS plans this year? VHS Fest plans? Yep, we got our table. We will be there all 3 days. Come on down and hang out with us. It's going to be awesome. There's some great movies playing too. The guy,
Michelle Bauer's going to be there. I think.
No, it's Brink Stevens.
Brink Stevens.
My
Stevens
bad. Yeah.
It's one of them from Slime Ball.
Which is cool because Hal Havens is going to be at an NJ HorrorCon too, so I get to have him on my Night of the Demons stuff, him and Linnea, and I get to do Sorority Babes for them, and then meet Brink and have her on that too, so that's pretty sweet. I would love to meet Michelle Bauer too. And the guy, I forgot his name.
Was she at VHS Fest like a couple years ago? I misremember.
Patty Mullen.
I'm thinking of Fred when he was
Fred
there.
Olen Ray
he was
there.
in his movie.
Yeah.
Movies. I think he dated her at the time. If my math is adding up,
I don't know.
One of them,
yeah.
Anyway.
The guy the killer from Slumber Party Massacre is going to be there. I forget his name, but that's going to be cool too. Very excited to meet him. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. So we'll see you there.
Pentagram Productions. Hello.
Oh, real quick before that.
Oh,
we're also just so you guys know, if you're coming out to VHS Fest, we will have Talks from the Dark Side Volume 2 on VHS for you to purchase. So that'll be a cool exclusive for VHS Fest.
Which this was the original.
This is the first one. See VHS Fest 7, and this will be VHS Fest 8.
Yes.
Exclusive. And we're gonna do.
I forgot what episodes were on this. I almost suggested one of these for like the new one.
Yeah.
Which was the Impressionist. Spoilers. It was on the other tape. We had the Impressionist, Halloween Candy, and Trouble with Mary Jane was the first tape.
Yeah.
So just a selection of episodes from the season that we just did in the year of that we decided, hey, these are good ones for the tape.
We'll make a post about it like a little bit later.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
But yes, Pentagram Productions says, so when are you guys gonna do an episode on the Bloody Murder movies? I am not familiar with those personally.
Bloody Murder. I gotta go back and watch those again. And if we do them, that may be a Patreon exclusive.
Oh, okay.
It depends. I gotta see if there's. We have to see if there's enough to talk about there. But,
which we do typically do 9 times out of 10, and we've talked about it. But it's like one of us has to at least be really familiar with the movie or has recently watched it, because we don't want to run into a situation where we have just nothing to really talk about other than, well, there's some trivia, and I guess
and you know, we'll that might be one. We might do another poll for Patreon where we're like, hey, it's slasher themed, and here's a bunch of slashers that we want to do. You guys pick which one.
Yeah,
like we just did Trilogy of Terror 1 and 2 for Patreon, and that won the poll, by the way. I don't think anybody knows that.
Yeah, we were going to talk about it, but since you're on the topic, that was actually the episode we were in the middle of filming in between this live show. And we had to break in the middle because I got here a little late. I wasn't really thinking. I was like, well, we're just going to burn through this. And it's like we talked about the first movie for a while, and I was like, oh, well, no, that made sense. Yeah. But there's your BTS for your live show.
So it's a double episode again, like we did Sinjanor and Scared to Death. So this will be Trilogy of Terror and Trilogy of Terror 2 in one episode. And you all you awesome patrons got to vote on that, so that was pretty cool. So we'll do another poll soon. We'll probably do it for July.
Yeah, maybe. A lot of people. I mean, not every patron, because I know the numbers, but almost every patron came in, and there were some people just came in for the poll.
Yeah, pretty sweet. So
yes, Hot Fuzz is horror comedy, and it's one of the best.
Oh, 100%. Oh my God, Hot Fuzz is so fucking good.
I was actually thinking about that earlier. It's definitely my favorite of the Cornetto trilogy. Shaun of the Dead's very good, and so is World's End, but Hot Fuzz takes the taco. I'll use it again.
We're gonna take one more question, then we're gonna talk a little bit about because it is getting
a little late.
Well, it's going to we're another 20 minutes or so. It's just so we can talk about what's coming up. But we're gonna take one more. D83 says, what do you guys think of Beetlejuice 2?
I already know Joe's answer to this. I let me answer first because Joe's just gonna shit on it. But I'm gonna see it day one. I think that there's too many member berries in the fucking trailer. Like, remember this joke? Remember this joke? And I don't know. Tim Burton at some point forgot what lighting was and just decided just green and blue lights blasted on people makes a movie like Ghostbusters 2016.
Tim Burton forgot who the fuck he was.
Well, that's a whole different fucking argument that I don't disagree with, but. I think I said this to Joe, if not somebody else for sure. I'm there for Catherine O'Hara. I'm there for Keaton. I'm there for Winona Ryder. I'm even there for Jenna Ortega. And even the guy that I guess is married to Lydia looks pretty entertaining based on the 90-second trailer.
Is that who that is supposed to be?
Or is it her boyfriend or some shit? I guess. But I'm there day one, but I don't know. I'm not really sure what's going to happen. I'm walking into this assuming it's not going to be good, and I hope I'm surprised.
I think it just looks sad.
I don't know if I go that far, but
I think it looks sad. Like I love Michael Keaton. I love Beetlejuice.
Oh, I love Beetlejuice.
I love them. I love them. I love Michael Keaton as an actor and as just like a dude from like interviews and stuff. I think he's excellent.
He is a good interviewer. He says some shit you don't expect.
And it was me and my wife watched like a whole big thing that he had done, like recounting all his.
Watch that too. It was
roles.
interesting.
Yeah,
right?
It was fun. So like,
stories.
He just seems like a really cool guy. And you know, he's one of my. I mean, I was Beetlejuice for Halloween one year. I love
one of the best costumes.
Thank you. I love Batman. I love Multiplicity. Mr. Mom is great.
Multiplicity's underrated.
Harold Ramis, dude.
My fave. Well, there you go. All right.
We should maybe revisit that. Anyway,
I watched it last year. There's a couple jokes. I know I'd always got to be the guy that's like, oh, I didn't hold up.
Fucking guy.
I find someone in the comments always yells at me about it too. Don't worry.
But yeah, and again, I'm saying this out of love. Like I love Michael Keaton. it looks sad to me. It looks like...
Well, you were comparing it to Hocus Pocus.
It is fucking... In short, it looks like Hocus Pocus 2 all over again to me. And that was a travesty.
I still haven't watched it.
It was a travesty.
We almost did an episode on that, but it was so bad, according to Joe and other folks. We just fucking skipped it.
I don't want to talk about it.
What can you say,
I want to just forget about it. Honestly, I want to just pretend like it didn't happen. Like, I just don't know. And look, I could be totally wrong. Yeah. I could go see it. Or
I could be wrong, too.
I could watch it and be like, wow, I was totally wrong. And I'll admit that, and you guys know that. I'll be totally honest with you. But, like, if I see it and it blows me away, I'll say that. But all it looks like to me is an excuse to get Jenna Ortega on the screen. Wednesday's hot right now.
Wow.
The same kids who love that, and their parents who like Beetlejuice, and there's a tandem relationship there with Addams Family and Beetlejuice, and high school goth kid at Spencer's, Hot Topic, and Nightmare Before Christmas bullshit.
Yeah, there is. You're
like,
right.
it's all there. And I was talking about this earlier. I think I responded to somebody on a post or something, but it's like, it's just there to make money. I don't feel like
if it was made 15 years ago, it might be the same thing, but you wouldn't necessarily feel like that.
Again, I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that the movie's going to suck. And if you want to go see it and you're excited, I'm not trying to yuck your yums. You asked me my opinion. I'm telling you right now.
Mm-hmm.
From watching the trailer and the first impression, because
you didn't like the teaser either.
I didn't like the teaser either. I don't need fucking a hymn of Deo. A hymn of Deo. I don't need that.
There's a movie for you.
Yeah, but put it this way.
Yeah.
Harry Belafonte is a periphery thing in the first movie that Adam listens to throughout the movie. It's not a key point of the movie. It's like a thing. It's one of his favorite things to listen to, and he's always putting a tape in a tape player and playing it while he's working on his models and stuff. And that's cool, and it's a character quirk. He's not even in the fucking movie. The Maitlands, if they're in it, they're going to be in it for a second.
They won't even be in it.
I don't even want to fucking see him in it, to be honest. But
Alec Baldwin ain't doing. He's too busy dealing with that Rush trial for the last 2 years.
I don't know. Ghosts get fat, I guess, too.
They also get older.
And old. But my point is, it was a periphery thing, and now it's like the main focus of it, and it's like, this is why Beetlejuice was good. It's like, no. That's not why Beetlejuice was good. Beetlejuice was good because it was clever. It was unique. The comedy writing was fucking amazing. Keaton was electric in that film. It was lightning in a bottle, okay? And if you were going to do the sequel, like Sean said, it should have been 25 fucking years ago.
Yeah. Even more so, yeah.
Even more so.
90s.
That's when the time was, like early 90s tops.
When the cartoon was on, maybe.
Yeah, early 90s tops to do it. This just seems like, to me personally, again, not to fucking yuck anybody's yums. It just looks like it's aggressively not for me.
Sure.
It looks like the Wednesday crowd. And that's cool if that's your thing. It's not my thing. And again, I could watch it and be like, wow, that was actually great, but I don't think so. I'm more excited for Beverly Hills Cop.
I was waiting for you to go
Axel
there with
Foley. You watch that trailer.
Still didn't watch it.
You watch that trailer and you tell me that it doesn't just feel right.
I could see that.
They bring the characters back, but it just makes sense. You want to know why it makes sense?
Reinhold in that?
Reinhold's in it.
He is, okay.
It makes sense because, of course, they're still cops. Of course, they're still gonna stop a crime.
Yeah, you could see the through line on that one a little more.
I can see the through line a little bit better. You know what I mean? Whereas Beetlejuice was such like a unique thing for like dealing with
unique period.
Well, unique period from all sides, but like how I don't know. We already did How Do the Dead Coexist with the Living. That's the culmination of that movie. Is the dead coexisting with the living.
Oh, and like the trailers seeing like they're like revisiting that
and it's
territory.
Like, well, how do we do this again? And it's like, I don't know, Tim. How are we doing it again?
Well, I know we're
remember that thing?
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying.
Thing? And it's like, oh, Danny DeVito's in it. I'm like, I didn't
even realize that until someone posted the screenshot.
What does that mean to me?
Well, that's like Patton Oswalt in Frozen Empire. It's like, okay, well, like it ended up being a whatever when you watch the movie, but it was like, why is he in this?
One more thing I will say about Beetlejuice again. This is how I really know it's not. One of the funniest gags that I love from that is when he's about to marry Lydia and he's looking for he's like, oh, the ring.
Oh, the ring. Yeah, that's great.
And he pulls the finger out and he takes the ring off the finger and goes, oh, she meant nothing to me.
She meant nothing to me.
She meant nothing to me. And he throws the finger away. It's such a good gag. You have taken that gag and you've made a fucking story. You've blown it out into this story beat. It's like, I don't care who that woman was.
Oh, is that what that's
and
supposed
Monica
to be?
Bellucci, the stitched together woman,
I didn't even
is
realize
missing her fucking ring finger. So guess what?
For someone that doesn't give a shit about this movie, you did way more research on it than I did.
It's because I love the movie.
No,
so
I
it's
get it.
Easy
I get it.
It's easy to put the pieces together.
Sure.
Plus, people have been posting about it too.
Well, I mean, as long as I've known you, I think we can both agree that is probably both of one of our favorite movies. Even though we don't talk about it a ton.
No, we don't talk about it a ton, but Beetlejuice is like one of my all-time favorites.
That's another one. If we ever covered it, it's like, I mean, I feel like we could make a really good episode out of it, but it's just so low on the priority list. It's like, well, we know it's good.
Yeah.
Well, people know. Maybe now this will spur it.
Maybe we'll do Beetlejuice and talk about why it's so fucking
I was just
good.
had the thought, like maybe that's how we spin it. But
Yeah.
I wonder if everyone and their mother, besides Tony, because he already did it, will be covering the original.
Yeah, I know.
I don't care. I'm just saying.
Well, no. I mean, I'm sure everybody will. I know everybody's going to be talking about Beetlejuice too, but I would like to talk about Beetlejuice. Maybe. We'll see.
I'd love to.
Yeah.
It's an idea.
It's just, you know.
Tim Burton, this is also like around the time when Tim Burton was discovering himself, but also started to find his aesthetic, which I think for the most part up until the late 90s, and I feel like most people agree, still worked really well. And then you're either a Burton head or you're not from that point forward. I mean, the dividing line after you could literally go by his movies.
Well, 100%. I think the last good movie that
Sleepy Hollow, maybe?
No, the last good movie Tim Burton made was Big Fish. That was his last.
I
movie.
forgot he did
but
that.
His best movie after Beetlejuice,
Batman. I guess I was saying that.
Okay. Best movie after Batman, Sleepy Hollow, 100%. I mean,
Sleepy Hollow is really good.
And like Pee Wee fucking rules, and Beetlejuice is great, and Batman is
Edward
awesome.
Scissorhands.
Edward Scissorhands is all right.
I love it.
I'm not a huge fan of Edward Scissorhands, but Sleepy Hollow is fucking amazing. I think that. I think that's like in terms of like
Ed Wood, exactly. Daniel.
Ed Wood is good. In terms of like. I don't know. I think Sleepy Hollow is like near perfect.
I have very minor complaints, and it's usually shit I forget about and then I'll rewatch. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah,
but it's like, yeah, it's really well done. That might be one to eventually cover for someone was asking about October. That maybe not this year, but that is absolutely a trick or trash ass movie.
Oh yeah, it's man, it's Legend of Sleepy Hollow, baby.
Legit.
Maybe we'll talk about the Jeff Goldblum one.
We almost did that last year. Now that you mention it, I forgot about that. Yeah. That's a good thought.
But yeah. So look. And again, I'm only talking about this because somebody asked about it. Right?
It was the question.
I'm not going on a tirade somewhere and being like, "Fuck Beetlejuice, don't go see it."
You also did give your 2 cents when it dropped for anyone that follows you.
I didn't. I just said, you know what? I'd rather see.
Axel
Beverly
Foley,
Hills Cop, Axel Foley. That's all. It looks better. That's all I said.
And when I'm saying I didn't watch the trailer, I'm not saying that like I'm not going to watch the trailer. Joe sent it to me. I just didn't watch it because I'm an asshole. I'm just saying I didn't watch it yet. I'm curious.
So based on Coming to America 2, which I enjoyed.
Which, again, I didn't see that either, but I love Eddie Murphy, but I don't have this huge nostalgia for Eddie Murphy, so I'm not I'm not jumping out to see his films per se. I love the guy, but I'm not as big of a fan, I guess.
I think it's hilarious that Beverly Hills Cop 4 is going directly to Netflix and Beetlejuice 2 is going to
theaters. Yeah, that is interesting.
I think that's funny because like Beverly Hills Cop at one point was like one of the highest grossing comedies of all time. And you can argue that the second one's not as good or the third one's not as good.
Well, they still made 2 sequels.
But I think like I watched half of Beverly Hills Cop 2 the other night before I watched Godzilla -1, and it's fucking great. Like it's just a good time. My point is you can easily make a sequel and it feel right to that, and it's very hard to make a sequel to Beetlejuice and make it feel right.
No, you're right.
Hit all the notes that it needs to hit. You know what I mean? Without just blind nostalgia. You know?
Well, yes, that'll be the conversation when it drops.
That's the thing, and like
they did kill Jeffrey Jones though. They did one thing right. They could have killed that fucker.
Come back. They couldn't have him come back.
You know,
my problem is where the fuck is Jeffrey Jones in the ghost world?
Wow, he got sent to hell. He's gone. he went in that door with all the spirits.
That's the lost souls room.
I was gonna say in that first teaser that you see his photo on the at the funeral, but I wonder if they were like, well, then we actually got to give him like a credit.
Yeah,
let's get that out of here. We'll see in the final film if he gets an appearance.
Also, it feels disgustingly like CGI. And I know that it's like practical ?
The one practical effect, I was like, well, that's literally the exact same gag from the first movie with the fucking shit coming out of his face. You only see it from the back.
But that looks like it's CG.
But apparently it's not, guys. I had the same thought.
Do me a favor. Watch that scene where he's like, How about this? You like it? And his face opens, and he does that to the Maitlands when he first
back
sees
to
him.
back.
If you look at them both next to each other, you're like, oh,
sure. Maybe it's that green light he's blasting.
This is from 1987, and this is from 2024. Well, which one looks better?
Right. Yeah. Right? For sure.
So or 88. I think it's 88.
Whenever, 80s. I know we're trying to move on, but we did get a super chat. I don't want to forget that before we actually get to our final, not final thought. This isn't a main episode. No.
Just like wrap up.
Yeah,
wrap up.
The wrap up of
what we got coming.
Wrap up of the wrap up.
We just haven't seen you, and we missed you, and we want to talk to you.
We had a lot to say.
Yeah.
But thank you, Brian Davis, very much for the super chat.
Thank you so much, Brian.
And he says, shout out to your video with Hack the Movies on Bram Stoker's Dracula video. One of the funniest reviews I've watched. New to the channel for that. Thank you. Obviously, the part when I come in the last 5 minutes,
of course. Yeah.
Eating those fake bugs with the fucking glasses.
It wasn't me sitting through the entire thing dressed like fucking Gary Oldman.
God. That was great. Funny ass episode too.
Yeah, I love. Oh man, that was a fun one to do. I love that movie. It's great.
Just because gotta toot my own horn again. Whatever horn that is. The fucking Frankenstein episode, which was the one we did.
Follow-up.
The follow-up actually has more views than the Dracula one.
Really?
Not that really matters. Just I check it occasionally out of morbid curiosity. I'm like, how'd that happen? Joe in the goddamn costume. Tony couldn't get more eyeballs on that.
It's because we're electric together. That's why.
Wow. Me and you, or you and Tony?
Oh, you and me.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I love Tony. But you're my
we're the positive and minus on the magnet. Where's Tony? He cuts us in half and he inserts himself.
Tony's he's always a good. When the three of us are together, it's always a good time. So
I think most people would agree. I don't want to just assume, but based on the comments and people always asking to get Tony back on and vice versa, it's always a good fit.
There's a reason, and they ask him to have us on. So we work well together, and it's fun. It's always a fun time. All right. 2 more. Sean Laughlin.
You need 2 more. We're gonna get that on I'm gonna record that. 2 more. Just play it like the tape master.
Because I want to talk to everybody. I want to make sure everybody is taken care of. I was hanging out with my younger brother, and him and his 14-year-old friends asked me what the scariest movie of all time is. Couldn't answer it. What's your picks? Scariest movie of all time.
Coming in with these brain busters, Sean.
I don't like these questions because everything's, and we've definitely gone into this when Connor was still on the show of why you can't answer this is because something is scary to each individual person. So I can't blanket statement like this is the scariest movie of all time. What's the scariest
Exorcist?
movie? What's the scariest movie to me of all time?
Also, like, it could be the scariest movie ever, but it might not be like my favorite.
The scariest movie to me of all time isn't really a horror movie. It's a drama movie, and I mentioned it earlier, and that's Irreversible. That movie scares the shit out of me. It's so gut-wrenchingly real and so terrible what happens in that film that I've often thought about it and gotten upset about it and hope that it never happens to anyone.
I guess if we're just talking about a movie that fucked you up, The Pianist.
Pianist is good.
I mean, it's based on stuff that really happened, and there's also the black feather in that it was directed by what's his face, that pedophile guy.
Oh, I don't know.
He's the famous one. not Woody Allen, the other guy. He did The Pianist and a ton of other films.
The Pianist.
Look in the chat. Maybe someone knows what I'm talking about. But that might be one of the scariest movies ever because it's just about World War II and the Nazis invading Poland. It's fucking rough, but Adrian Brody is incredible in that.
I mean, that's real life horror.
But scary, I don't know. Hellraiser might be up there, but I've seen it so many times I might be desensitized at this point, but that's pretty fucking scary.
I'm trying to think.
Roman Polanski's who I'm thinking about.
Oh, Roman Polanski. I mean, you say what you want. He's a fucking amazing.
No, I'm just saying there's always that element that I feel like will either deter people from seeing the film or it's just, it's a thing.
It's a thing.
I don't like the man, but his movie, The Pianist, was very good.
Clearly, we don't condone that fucking shit. But
it's like the Jeffrey Jones
I'm able to separate art from artist.
I just have to at least mention it for whoever doesn't know, just because, I don't know, I like trivia.
He's fucking dead.
Roman Polanski?
Isn't he dead?
No? He lives in France.
Well, fine. Fuck him anyway.
I mean, why's he gotta be dead?
I don't know, because I'm just saying, like...
No, I know. Yeah. Okay, where's that last question,
Okay,
Joe?
last one. I was saying...
That's also Sean Laughlin posting the same thing
double.
twice.
The double. Okay, never mind. I lied.
His internet lied to him.
It was just one.
Yeah, exactly, Deke. Scary as in how, need more. I know, Sean, you're just trying to get the conversation going, and you are genuinely curious. It is just such a hyper specific to each person question.
It totally is.
Like, what's that movie where the chicks get stuck? That's my actual answer. Never actually saw it. When they get 47 feet or whatever.
47 meters down?
With the fucking sharks. That's my nightmare.
Okay, fine.
I never even saw it, but just the trailer alone, I didn't need to see it.
So, like, complete, like, supernatural and or, like...
I guess. Whatever scares the shit out of you.
Monster movie that scares... That is scary, I think. The Descent.
That was the next thing I was going to say. Yeah.
That plays on a lot of different scary things, whether it's being underground in a cave, cut off from like daylight, or claustrophobia, or things dwelling in the darkness, or your friend betraying you, or
it checks a lot of boxes.
It's a lot of different things. It's a really excellent film that's fucking scary as hell. And yeah.
Yes.
Maybe not of all time, but for me.
Well, Sean even said he couldn't even answer it, and that's why he asked. And Wells 6570.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much
for the tenor. We're gonna look at that, loving it and liking it real time, baby.
Says, why doesn't anyone ever review Cyborg from 1989? I recently rewatched, and for some reason, I love that movie. Thank you guys for the entertainment, and look forward to future content.
Maybe we'll tackle it. It's on the shelf inside. It's there.
You own it.
We have a plethora of things to choose from, and sometimes it's difficult. So that's why we're going to do some more Patreon polls, and we're going to be a little bit more diverse in our choosings. Yeah. There is a post Punisher, Lou Gossett Jr., Dolph Lundgren action movie that I wanted to slide your way, and we might have to cover that one. It even says
Jaws 3D.
From
obviously.
They did the Punisher together. And it's like, that's okay, using that
the
to promote
Skullless Punisher.
Yeah. So,
all right, before somebody else tries to say thank you to
Questions
us.
are done. Thank you so much, guys. We really appreciate it.
Not that I'm looking at gift horse in the mouth here.
No, I didn't. I don't want to. I don't want to go too long, and we still gotta finish up recording for tonight. And we got work tomorrow. Imagine. So,
you should have left that detail. I didn't need that reminder. Thank God I don't got to get up at 5 a.m. like some folks. But
I gotta go in tomorrow. So yeah. So what's coming up?
Yes. For the month of June.
Well, actually, there's some things we didn't talk about yet.
Okay.
One thing. I'm going to be working on a documentary with Bobby, our friend Bobby Knipe, who we did
Mom and Pop,
the Mom and Pop
video store,
80s and 90s video store boom.
That's it.
And that's just put out. You should totally grab that.
The physical of that.
Yeah, grab the disc of that. But he's putting together a new documentary now, which he announced, which is going to be really fun. So I'm very excited to be a part of that, and very honored that he asked me to be a part of that. And because I'm going to be shooting it and helping him edit it and things like that. So that's going to be fun. But we're both going to be in it as well.
Yes.
Talking about some of our favorite horror television. So that's going to be really, really fun, and I can't wait to do that. And what else? There's something else I'm working on that I can't announce yet.
You mentioned Cyberman earlier. Did you want to expand on that?
Real quick. So I think
you could talk about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Yeah. Because it's ours.
The other thing. Yeah. Hold your thought on that one, Joe.
Stay tuned. I don't know which month it's going to be released, but I'm sculpting a Cyberman action figure for y'all, and it'll be our first foray into MDU action figure stuff.
I never thought that would ever be said out loud.
Well,
MDU action figures.
Well, I always wanted to do toys, and I always wanted to make the toys, and I'm a big fan of the people who do like the independent
there's a name for that, combining toys and shit.
Well, it's not necessarily like a kit bash, but it's
that's what I'm thinking of.
Kit bashing, but it's like, people who do like limited runs of like Raidful Things does it, or like Kingdom of the Spiders, and I always wanted to do my own toys, and it just made sense to me. I was like, well, why don't I do something for the show where I can fulfill two things? So like I'm working for the show, something for the show that we can do,
and scratch that itch.
So it's gonna be really fun. I got two versions of Cyberman coming, two different forms of figures, and they'll each have special edition, limited editions. So keep an eye out. Those are coming. I'm really trying to get one done for Monster Mania, and there will be an exclusive. There'll be an exclusive version of it for that show.
which is in August. I don't have the
Yeah.
exact date in front of me, but it is August.
Yeah, I'm not 3D printing anything. I'm sculpting it with my hands and with clay and stuff. And then I'll be molding it and casting it and then bagging them up and doing the header cards and all that shit. So it'll be fun.
What I've seen of this thing so far is incredible, and that's all I'll say.
Thank you.
Ryan Powell, though, even though we said that was it, guys, stop saying nice things to us.
Yes.
Send another super
Thank
chat.
you so much, Ryan.
Hey, boyos, it'd be awesome to see a family game night video someday. Keep being awesome. I know, Ryan, we keep saying it's coming. We feel like we've been saying it for a year. You and Brian Malick made those fucking games for the MDU.
Yes.
We will play them. That is still an idea. We still don't know. I know I feel like a broken record repeating myself now.
Well, I mean,
but
because we've been saying that it's coming,
yeah,
and it is
trying
coming,
not to do that
and
as much.
Trying not to break any promises, but we can't give you a date, but we're looking forward to doing it, and we're gonna do it as soon as we can, as soon as it makes sense.
And I still don't know where that would live. I guess at this point, probably in the Fresh Picks category.
It'll probably live in the Fresh Picks,
or it might be a live show. We still don't even know. Yeah. There's so many factors, Ryan. We didn't forget about the idea. Get where you're coming from. Mm-hmm. I want to do it. If we're gonna do it, we want to do it right.
Yeah.
We don't want to just fart it out just to get it done.
No.
So even though it does feel like we've been saying this for like a year or two, when it happens, it'll be worth it.
And it'll be great.
And then it'll become a regular thing, because once we figure it out, that's the thing. Just like everything else, if you've watched the channel for years now, once we figure an idea out, we'll let you know quickly if it's working or not.
We like to tell you the stuff we got in the pipe because, we want you to be excited because it is coming, but that's not coming yet.
Yeah, I wish I had a magic calendar that I just write things on and then they come true. But,
I wish I could wake up tomorrow and just do movie dumpster stuff all week. That would be great.
Or just wake up with $1 bajillion in my bank account. I don't have to give back.
I don't need $1 bajillion. I just need to be comfortable. I need to wake up and do my thing and not have to do anything else.
Yeah.
And I'd be fine. I'd be totally fine with that.
Yes, but
I don't mind working. I love working. But
same. I know what you mean though. No one actually wants to do it. It's a part of life, and you try to find something you at least enjoy on some level.
Yeah, because then I'm not working. I'm just doing fun shit that I like to do.
But yes, Brian, it's coming. It's coming. You'll be one of the first to know because it will be a Patreon announcement when we do it.
Absolutely.
But for June,
yes. Was there anything else? No. Yeah, for June. So we got a lot of fun stuff coming up. So the Trilogy of Terror and Trilogy of Terror 2 episode was supposed to come out in
in May.
May? Yeah, in May, at the end of May, but we're actually recording it right now.
Yeah. And schedules kept getting fucked up. Not to always bring that up, but it's just if someone's not available, you can't shoot the thing, and if it happens a couple times, we just get a little behind. It just is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna try to put that out for either Friday or Saturday or this coming weekend.
Yes,
I'm gonna try really hard. I'm gonna be tackling that one, so I'm gonna try really hard to get it out for y'all for the end of the week. And then we're gonna be doing, of course, Harry and the Hendersons. So Harry and the Hendersons was supposed to be the first episode for June, but it's gonna be the second episode of June. We're gonna be doing that with Tim Nugent from Tapes from the Crypt. He's gonna come down and we're gonna do Harry and the Hendersons. That's gonna be fucking great. We're gonna have a great time.
Right. That's Brain Scan took its place last month because Tim was actually sick.
Tim was sick, so we're doing what we can with what we got and the time that we got to do it in.
Weirdly enough, June actually probably makes more sense for Harry and the Hendersons, so maybe it was a happy accident. I mean, I would have taken it in May, but
I mean, it's the way that things were supposed to happen. And that's just the way that it's supposed to unfold.
That's life, man.
And that's life. And I've been trying to take that mantra in more, right? Like, that's just the way it's supposed to happen. It's all right that it didn't do this or we didn't do this because we can only do so much in the time that we got. So yeah. And then the third movie for June is going to be A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors.
Boom, baby, finally.
We're the Dream Warriors.
Talking about covering one of these damn films for 7 fucking years, and we're finally doing it.
You know what's funny? We did Nightmare 5 with Tony in the dungeon for his channel, but now we're going to be doing Nightmare.
I forgot we did that here.
Yeah. And we're going to be doing...
film it here, guys. All right.
We're going to be doing Nightmare 3 as a full-fledged episode. Now, here's the best part of June, the part that I'm most excited for.
Oh, yeah. This is important.
Patreon already has this information, and Patreon has already begun the claiming of this.
Yes.
We are going to be doing, for the $5 and $10 tiers, we are going to be doing a live watch-along, which is nothing new. But the twist is that we're going to be doing Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare.
Oh, God.
Okay?
It almost was.
And not only are we doing Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare,
grabbing a prop from off camera.
We're doing it in 3D. Ooh. And we're also giving away 100 pairs of original theater-issued Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare 3D glasses that were given out to the theaters. So we have 100 of those, and I believe as of right now, there are 40 or so claimed. Tomorrow we are going to put up a big post on Instagram and all our socials. So we gave Patreon 2 weeks to get their stuff in, and then we're opening it up to the public. You do have to sign up for Patreon. You have to sign up for our Patreon, patreon.com/moviedumpster, for either the $5 tier or the $10 tier, because that is our watch along tiers. And then when we send you your sticker pack or sticker pack and t-shirt, we will also send you a pair of the Freddy glasses, depending if we still have them, like if we still have enough. So there are still a bunch of glasses to be claimed. So if that's something that interests you, go jump on there now. We want to make sure that we're telling you now so that you can get in there, get your glasses before we have the watch along. So if you want to do that, jump in there as soon as you can and claim your pair. There you go.
And there are instructions, but when you do actually get to the post on Patreon, don't just comment that you want to be a part of it. Read the instructions. Send us a DM that, well, you'll see. I'm not going to say exactly what it is, but look it up, and then you're in. But if you just leave a comment, we do see them, but you gotta actually DM us.
Yeah, when you see the post, just DM us the code word that's there, and you will have your pair with you.
Yes.
And if you become a new patron, we usually message you first. So we'll ask you anyway to make sure and double check. Somebody asked, how do we have so many pairs? Because I found a lot of them.
Yeah, you just had the stack over in the corner a few months
ago.
They're
over there. They're just like sitting in a stack. And I was like, oh, that would be such a fun thing to do. It's something that Sean and I have been talking about doing for a while. Not necessarily with Nightmare, but this is the one that just happened to trigger, doing it. So we're gonna do it. So that's gonna be super fun. It's gonna be our first 3D watch along with y'all. Now the whole movie isn't in 3D. It's only the end part, but it's still gonna be a great time. And you get a souvenir of authentic Freddy's Dead. The Final Nightmare glasses. So you can also, if you still want to sign up and we don't have any more pairs, it still works with anaglyphic it'll still work with anaglyphic 3D glasses. So if you already have a pair of these glasses or another anaglyphic pair of 3D glasses, those will work as well, the red and blue, and it should work fine. But yeah, so that's super exciting. So we're very excited to do that. Was there anything else?
I'm trying to think. I feel like there's something else for June, because I know there was some of that stuff was catch up from last month. Yeah. Damn. Shit, you usually bring a little note with bullet points. I kind of forgot on this one. I think we covered a lot of it.
We hit most of them.
Daniel Belcher. We were kind of talking about it earlier, but yeah, better than doing Jaws 3. Again, Jaws 3 eventually may be on the show, but that's a different idea for a different day. Freddy's dead right now, god damn it.
Yes, and Dan, your 3D glasses from the box set will work as well if you don't want the original glasses. Like if you could do that as well. But don't forget, if you sign up for the $5 or $10 tiers, you guys get
other stuff. Yeah,
you guys get sticker packs for the $5 tier, and you get commentary tracks, watch-alongs, minisodes, junk mails, and
junk mail. I think is actually in the second, the $2 tier also.
Yeah, but you get all that stuff for $5. Like that's a great deal. Yeah. And $10 is that's our highest tier, and you get a T-shirt with that
and a pin,
and a pin. And a pin and a glow-in-the-dark pin
for the 10,
and a sticker pack. And the commentary tracks, and the watch-alongs, and the minisodes, and all that good shit.
And like every tier, just because we mentioned every episode, but just as we're on the live, like even on that $2 tier, you also can get the ad-free version of the audio podcast. So if you listen to just the podcast on Spotify or Apple or whatever your streaming app is, you just download the file off Patreon. Mm-hmm. You don't have to deal with any ads. Just if that's an additional thing you'd be interested in.
If that's like something that if you want to, like, how can I support the show financially, and it's like cheap. $2 will get you ad-free shit, like Sean said. So that's pretty cool.
Pizza Werewolf asked, is there a pizza tier? Well, all our tiers are based on the MDU. I think there's the Wizard's House Elf is the $10. 5 is Time Traveling Mutant, like Baldwin, of course.
And 2 is Dumpster Dweller.
Dumpster Dweller, yeah. So, they're themed.
Yeah, they're themed, totally.
We haven't updated those pictures in a while, but I think it gets the point across.
Yeah. So this is an experiment too, so it'll be fun, and we're kind of pulling the trigger on the 3D thing. So we're really looking forward to it. It's going to be a blast. So if you can join us, that'd be great. I think that's it. Billy Mount the third.
He keeps asking. We got to at least address
the first and the second are nowhere to be found. By the way,
still,
the verdict's still out on that. I really want to ask you guys: will you do a collab with the We Hate Movies podcast? Sure,
I'd be open to it. I am at least familiar with the name.
I think I've heard of them. I mean, yeah. If you think that'd be something cool, like I guess we'll reach out, or you can have them reach out to us. I don't know. Let them know too. And yeah, that'd be cool. We're always down to collaborate.
Yeah, always with people we know, with people we don't know. Yeah. I always like to at least check them out first, but I'll take your word for it, Billy.
Mm-hmm.
The name does ring a bell at the very least.
We will check them out. Okay.
Perfect, Nathan. Nathan's in the chat. He's sending the DMs. He wants his Freddy glasses.
Nathan said, all right, DM sent.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
you forgot the power glove.
Yes.
Yeah. Get ready for that shit.
Dan B, we just explained what the next watch along is. It's Freddy's Dead.
The final nightmare.
Roll back the tape or head over to Patreon. We got all the details there for you, pal.
Yes. What does 20 mean? Ricky
I don't know.
Ricky Hogan.
20th super on a live stream is what that means.
Oh, cool.
Ricky Hogan.
Congratulations. That's our 20th super chat, and thank you so much for the donation. And Ricky Hogan says, I'm a newish subscriber. I love Tales from the Dark Side content. I'll definitely be subscribing to the Patreon. Love your channel. Thanks you so much. We really appreciate that, man, and we're glad you're enjoying the content.
I guess we could just talk about that very briefly here, because we only really talked about it on Patreon, but we filmed the rest of the episodes for season 2.
Season 2 is in the can.
I know we just put out A Choice of Dreams, the Abe Vigoda episode, but there's a few more coming.
We have 4 more for season 2 left, and then we'll be doing a wrap-up episode, and then we're going to jump right into season 3. And they are bi-weekly. Bi-weekly meaning that they come out every 2 weeks.
We're trying to still, I know we had a little bit of not a huge gap, actually. It was only about a month, but we're trying to keep that gap as short as possible. And just, we've talked about it before, but Chris lives, between coming here and going back, it's like a 4-hour round trip. So we try to make the trip. Not that I'm sure he wouldn't mind coming every week, but he's always got something else going on. He's got Midnight Madness to worry about.
Yeah, I mean, life is going on.
Yes,
Again,
yes.
And like we've said a million times, this is something that we do in our own time. Like,
true,
we work all day, and then we do Movie Dumpster, and then we dedicate weekends and stuff to it too. So we're doing as much as we can, as fast as we can for y'all, and the best we can. And we don't want to just shit stuff out, because that's not cool. We want to give you the best things we can, and you guys are so patient with us, but we still like to tell you that. Because we do appreciate your patience and your support.
I'll save all my thoughts for the actual episodes, but the end of season 2 is interesting, I guess I'll say.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to going into season 3.
I don't know if I am, but eventually maybe I'll get there.
Yeah. But so yeah. Oh, Ryan says it's easy to forget that you guys have regular jobs and that stuff, and that Movie Dumpster's a hobby. Well,
I mean, I don't know if personally I consider it beyond a hobby. I don't know if there's a
second
tier
job.
above hobby, a second job. I guess the best way to look at
Movie
it.
Dumpster is my second job.
My hobby is my video game playing.
My hobby is watching the movies.
Sure.
And my second job is talking about them.
I get what you're saying, though, Ryan. I guess on the base level, it is our hobby, but it has absolutely turned into, and we've talked about it, it's not a complaint at all.
No.
But it is, we have to treat it like a second job, because otherwise it's not going to be at the level that we want it to be at, and that we would hope you guys at least expect of us. I mean, maybe that's not something you guys think about, but I think about it.
Every time that I think about you guys, and I think about not only you guys just watching the show or listening to the show, but people that are giving money to the show.
Well, yeah, that too.
I'm always thinking about you guys. I want to make sure that you guys are taken care of, or we want to make sure you guys are taken care of. And that we're giving you the good stuff that we promised, you know what I mean? So,
or at least we're damn well trying.
At least we're trying. I mean, well, that's what we always like to remind you, that we are trying. And,
speaking of, one other thing you might have forgot or you were trying to think of was technically supposed to be another May thing we didn't get time for. It's a ripe that is still in the working. Another one that's been coming a long time.
I can't forget that.
Damn oopsie baby oopsie.
Baby oopsie daisy. There's 3 of those fucking movies.
I can't believe there's 3. I mean, I think the
third one has come out since we've talked about wanting to do the 2 movies.
I think it's been 2 years.
So now you're gonna get 3 Baby Oopsie movies in one ripe review.
I did read the actual runtime of all 3 is like barely over 2 hours because I think 2 and 3 are kind of short. But yeah, that might come in June. That may be a victim of we had to force some May shit into June, so it might be a July. Or it is coming. We have that Chunky Chicken shirt. I fucking bought one to promote the damn show.
Yeah, we have
the episode. So it's very close to hatching.
Yeah, it's in the chamber.
But that's another one that you might see in June or July. We also have some stuff we're planning with CB Smith. I don't want to go into details on that, but we finally, after a couple of false starts, Chris, he's in the Army, so sometimes, or National Guard, I should say, so sometimes we have it locked in, we're going to meet up and shit happens and he can't come. So it's been about 6 months of trying to work out a day. So expect some more booked the movies and maybe more soon, but that is also something else that's it's coming.
Yeah.
We don't know when it's dropping, but it's coming soon.
But we are going to be recording it soon. We do have an interview for you coming soon, too.
Maybe that was the other thing you were thinking of.
Yeah, with the Error 4444 guys.
Right, they told us that's how you should say it.
That is how you say it. Sam and Logan came on, and they are like some of the nicest dudes ever.
They were so nice.
And they're doing awesome stuff, so we're really excited to show you guys that interview and have you support some other great artists and people who are doing awesome shit. So that's kind of the point of those interviews. So yeah. With that being said,
we could keep talking.
I could talk all night.
We haven't done this in a while, and I'm like now on like my caffeine high. But then I just looked at the clock and I'm like, well, we still got to do like another 45 minutes of that review. So we should probably call it.
We got to finish up, and again, we got to get to bed. We got to get up for work tomorrow. But
the people listening and watching this in the future, I'm like, this is on VOD. What are you talking about? I kid, but
yeah, we're gonna bounce out of here. We hope you guys had a great time tonight. It was so great to come hang out with you guys again. It's been a while, so we'll try not to make it not so long for the next live wrap up show for you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out, and thank you guys for all your support. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. And if you're on Patreon, thank you so much for that too. All the super chats, like that always blows my mind. We really we wouldn't exist without you guys at this point, and we tell you that all the time, and it's true. The symbiosis here is the real deal.
True.
So we just love the community that you guys have come together and have grown into, and it's just fucking awesome.
We were even talking while we were setting up. I was looking at the chat. I was like, okay, well, everyone's just talking, so that's exactly what we want to see. Because that is, I mean, we talk about it like Joe's saying, like that we're trying to, we say it literally every episode, we're trying to grow this dumpster community. Because I mean, I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent because we are trying to wrap this, but it's like I look at other horror communities, like these subsects, like the Last Drive-In has the mutant fans, and all these people come together on Twitter, especially, and it's like, I'm not a part of that. I look at it from the side, I'm like, sure, I probably should get into that, but it's cool to see it happen. So then when it happens with Movie Dumpster, the osmosis, the symbiotic relation you're talking about, just I feel it throughout the entire horror community. It's not just, even though I was talking earlier about how I'm trying to watch more movies, it's still the horror community, the VHS community, all kind of are connected together.
Everything's gelling here. They coalesce, if you will.
They do. They do. They're getting the come together, the stuff together,
and it's cool because we got. I love our fans and like everybody talking. I mean, we've made some great friends through the show, and also like you have seasoned veterans that know a shit ton about movies, and you have people that don't know that much and want to know more. And it's such a great place for everybody to come and hang out and talk about stuff and talk about movies and all these kind of like oddball shit that we love so much. Not just horror, but comedy and sci-fi and TV shows and movies and games and just fun shit, and it's a cool place to meet other like-minded people, and like Sean said, it always warms my heart to see you guys just hanging out in the chat with each other before we even come on the fucking screen. So that's so cool. But yeah, so it's getting to be that time, folks. So thank you guys so much.
Hulk's getting his hand rubbed right now. Sun's going down. It went down a while ago.
Sun's going down, big guy. But yeah, we're gonna finish up this, and we're gonna go back to recording, and hopefully we'll have the new episode for you guys this coming weekend. So stay tuned for that and keep an eye out.
Yes.
But yeah, we love you guys so much. Have an awesome night. Hope you have a great week, and we'll catch you on the next one.